Today is a very holy day. Today, Sri Bhagavan took the form of Sri Ramachandra. So we will have a little puja and discourse on Sri Ramachandra. He was born and he was married on this particular day, so the Rama Navami. We will chant Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram when our Swamiji will do little arati. Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Syapati Ramachandra Ji ki Jai, Jai Pavan Putra Hanuman ki Jai. On behalf of the Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago, I welcome you all on this occasion, remembering the Sri Ramachandra. Swami Bharadananda ji will be speaking on the Sri Ramachandra, and Dr. Deepak Bakhane will speak on Mahavir Hanuman ji. Sri Ramachandra, he is the Parama Purusha. Again, he is considered the best among the men. And our Dr. Deepak Bakhane, he will speak about the greatest devotee of Sri Ramachandra, Hanumanji, the greatest devotee. So he is called as the Mahavira. Why Mahavira? There are many stories. Physically he was strong, intellectually, in his yogic power also he was very strong. But actually Mahavira is he who can be called as a Veera, the hero, who has conquered his own senses. Anyone can conquer the whole world, but he is considered as real hero who has conquered his own senses. And we find that Mahavira, he has conquered his own senses. What is that? Ego. All this ego, totally there is no ego at all, and he is doing everything and dedicating it at the feet of Sri Ramachandra. That is the speciality. So now I will request Swami Bharadananda ji to speak on Sri Ramachandra. Bharadanji, please. Use this one.
So Valmiki asked Narada if anywhere on earth there was a Purushottama, a supreme person full of nobility, full of every virtue, every good quality. And Narada answered and said, yes, such a person exists, and it is Rama, the king of Ayodhya. And then Narada told Valmiki the story of Rama, and eventually Valmiki put that into verse, and it became the Ramayana. So the story is, in which I'm sure you're familiar with the basic story, but at one time Ravana demon king of Sri Lanka, had become so powerful that he was threatening the gods. And so a delegation of gods came to Vishnu and told him that you need to go to earth, you need to destroy Ravana. And so Vishnu agreed and said, I will be born to King Dasharatha of Ayodhya. And so Dasharatha, he was the king of Ayodhya. He was a very good king, and everything was very happy in his kingdom, but he had one sorrow, which is that he hadn't had any children. So he arranged for a big sacrifice, and at the end of that sacrifice, a celestial being appeared in the fire, and he gave him a bowl of pice. And he said, give this pice to your wives, and you will have children. So he gave one portion of the pice to his first wife, Kausalya, and she gave birth to Rama. The second portion he gave to his second wife, Kaikeyi, and she gave birth to Bharata. The third portion, 2 portions, he gave to his third wife, Sumitra, and she gave birth to Lakshman and Shatrughna. And so like that, 4 noble children were born to Dasharatha, and they grew up very happily in the kingdom under the instruction of the sage Vashishta, and they were trained in the Vedic rituals and all the various skills that a king needed. When they were 15, then the great sage Vishwamitra came to Ayodhya. And he said that he was trying to perform a great worship, a great yajna, but that the demons, the Rakshasas, were interfering with it and disturbing it. So he asked that Dasharatha send Rama and Lakshman to protect their worship from the demons. And so they went, Rama and Lakshman went with Vishwamitra to his ashram, and the worship began. For 6 days there was no disturbance, but on the 7th day, the final day, then the demons showed up, the Rakshasas. And the Rakshasas are just spirits that like to be bad. They like to do bad things. When I read about ISIS, it reminds me of the Rakshasas. They're just bad people doing bad things. And so like that, the demons, they always try to create trouble, and so they showed up at the site of the worship in order to throw blood and filth and everything and defile the worship. But Rama and Lakshman, they were able to defeat the demons without any problem, and the worship was success. So then after the worship was over, they went with Vishwamitra to Mithila, where Janaka, the king of Mithila, he was having a Swayamvara for his daughter Sita. And Janaka had a huge bowl that was given by Shiva, and he had said that anybody who could string the bowl would win the hand of Sita. And the bowl was so heavy that not even 8 men could lift it up. But Rama not only lifted up the bowl, but when he bent it to try to string it, the bowl actually snapped. And so then Rama gave Janaka gave Sita to Rama, and also her sister Urmila was then given to Bharata, and 2 of the cousins were given to Shatrughna and Lakshman. And like that, the marriage was arranged. After the marriage, everybody went back to Ayodhya, and they were very happy for many years. And Rama especially was deeply loved by all the people of Ayodhya. Now after some time, after 12 years, then Dasharatha decided it was time for him to retire, and he wanted to give the kingdom to Rama. And everybody was happy about that, including Kaikeyi, his second wife, who was the mother of Bharata. Everybody was overjoyed because everybody loved Rama so much. But Kaikeyi, she had a maidservant named Manthura. And this maidservant began to warn her and say, do you realize that if Rama becomes king, then Kaushalya, the first wife, you and Bharata will become slaves under Kaushalya. Like that, she began to turn her mind. Now, at one time, Dasharatha had been wounded in a battle with demons, seriously wounded, and Kaikeyi had driven his chariot to safety. And so at that time, he had given her 2 boons. And so now Manthura reminded Kaikeyi of these 2 boons that she had from Dasharatha, and she said, now is the time to use it. And so Kaikeyi told Dasharatha that the first boon was that Bharata, her son, would be crowned the king of Ayodhya, and the second boon was that Rama would be sent to the forest for 14 years. And so, now when Rama heard this, learned this, he was overjoyed to hear that Bharata would be the king of Ayodhya, Kaushalya. And he was not at all resentful in any way. He was not at all resentful towards Kaikeyi when he learned what she had done. He said, don't worry, I grant your boons, I'll be happy to go to the forest, don't worry. He had no attachment at all to being the king. Now, but the significant thing about this is not just his detachment, but the fact that he was actually overjoyed at this turn of events. He was happy. Happy for Bharata, happy for Kaikeyi, and quite willing. Without any resentment, without any feeling that, oh, I got cheated or I should have been king, but without any hard feelings at all, he was happily gave up the crown. Now this is what makes him the Purushottama. Not just a detachment, not in the sense of, but the fact that the detachment came out of a higher state of consciousness. In ordinary life, we can be detached. We can say, oh, I don't care, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's not necessarily a kind of a high spiritual state. We tend to think of detachment as just kind of an indifference, or not caring. But this was something deeper. It came from a deeper spiritual thing. That in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 6, verse 32, it says, Admalpam yena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjana sukham va yadiva dukham sa yogi paramo mata. O Arjuna, that yogi is supreme, who looks upon the happiness and suffering everywhere with the same value that he attaches to himself. In other words, the real detachment, the true detachment which was displayed by Rama, was a detachment from personal self-interest. Now most of us, practically everybody, every human being, we're basically self-centered. We may be very good people, we may be generous, we may be everything, but still we tend to be more or less focused on ourselves. Whereas the spiritual person, he sees the same good everywhere as if it's for himself. And this is based upon the spiritual idea that there's only one self, one consciousness there. As a person grows spiritually, he begins to become aware of that one consciousness, and he begins then to react to life, to live his life not from the personal standpoint of what's happening to me and what am I getting, but from seeing the good of everybody. Now, strangely enough, this attitude is actually seen in an American gangster. His name was Frank Costello. He lived in New York, and he was telling his friends that he thought Mayor LaGuardia was the best mayor New York had ever had. And then his friends said, well, how can you say that? He's been raiding all your gambling places. He's been throwing your slot machines into the window, into the river. He's been nothing but trouble for you. And then Frank Costello answered and said, yes, well, he's been bad for me personally, but he's good for New York. And there was this ability to see beyond our own personal interest in things to the kind of the greater good. And this was the very nature of Rama. He never judged anything according to social values, to caste, anything. For him, he treated the fisherman or the boatman or anything with the same respect and dignity that he treated to the members of the court. He was, because he was seeing that same self everywhere. As human beings, we can struggle to try to be good people, to try to develop these good, noble qualities, and to some extent we can succeed. But when a person becomes spiritual, then all these qualities will automatically come. In the Yoga Aphorisms of Patanjali, it describes how as a person approaches divinity, he receives the cloud of virtue. In other words, where we struggle to try to be good and to try to be noble and so on, the spiritual person, as he becomes spiritual, all these noble qualities automatically come. A spiritual person can't steal or hurt people or do anything wrong because it's just not his nature. And so that was Rama's nature, was that same-sidedness everywhere. When you realize there's a one self within everybody, then whether I win the lottery or you win the lottery, it doesn't make any difference. And that was Rama's vision. It wasn't just a dry indifference type of detachment, but it was a lack of self-interest and an awareness of the kind of oneness in all. So that, and this is the essence of what makes a Purushottama. So then, as you know the rest of the story, how Rama, he went into the forest, he, Lakshmana and Sita, they went in together. Eventually they built a hermitage and were living happily. Then Ravana had heard about Sita, and particularly earlier, there was a demoness called Shurpanaka, who had tried to attack Sita, and Lakshmana had cut off her nose. And she went and complained to Ravana. Then, and her son was named Maricha. So Ravana and Maricha, after Ravana had heard about Sita and all, and desiring to revenge the insult, that they went to the hermitage, and as you know, Maricha, the demon, he disguised himself as a golden deer, a very beautiful golden deer. And when Sita saw the deer, she said, "Oh, I want that deer," and told Rama to go and catch it. And so Rama went after the deer, and eventually, when he realized that it wasn't a deer but a demon, he shot it. And as he was dying, Maricha called out, "Oh, Lakshman!" In Rama's voice, he called out, "Oh, Lakshman, come save me! I'm hurt." And so Lakshman, he thought it was a trick of the demons, and he told, wouldn't leave but the Sita. It says no, he had to go and check. So Lakshman said, "All right," and then he put a circle, a magical circle around the hermitage, and told Sita, "Don't leave this circle because you'll be protected inside." And so then he went to go find Rama. Now, in the meantime, as soon as Lakshman left, then Ravana came, disguised as a hermit, and he requested alms. And Sita wanted to give him the alms, but she couldn't reach him without crossing the the line, the protecting line. And so eventually, and the hermit said, no, if you won't come, then I don't want the offering. So eventually, then she crossed the line, and right away, Ravana grabbed her, he put her in his chariot and took her back to Sri Lanka. And when he got her to Sri Lanka, he gave her 1 year. He said, you have 1 year to decide to marry me, otherwise I'm going to have my demons cut you up and I will eat you for breakfast. So she was kept there surrounded by demoness guards and all in the garden. And so after this, Lakshman, or Rama and Lakshman, they searched all over for Sita, trying to find her. And eventually they came in contact with Sugriva and Hanuman and the other monkeys, and also Jambavan and the bears, and they all were searching, trying to find Sita. And eventually they learned that she was in Sri Lanka, in the kingdom of Ravana, that Ravana had taken her. And so like that they went, but the question was how to get over to Sri Lanka. As you know the story, all the monkeys, everything, they built a bridge. I said even chipmunks, they came and they put little acorns and little stones onto the bridge. Everybody, they contributed together to build this bridge. Now some years back, 2 years back, there were, in the news, there were satellite photos showing that there was actually a land bridge under the water. There was like a land bridge going from India to Sri Lanka. And there's some speculation at the time that might have been, Rama's bridge. But anyway, they built the bridge. They eventually went into Sri Lanka, and they fought the demons, and eventually Ravana was destroyed. And Vibhishana, his good brother, he was made the king of Sri Lanka. So throughout Rama's life, we see how well he treated everybody, how much he was loved by everybody, how noble and good all his actions were. Because he was living not from his personal consciousness, his personal attitude, but out of connection with the oneness of things. And this is the thing, is that within each individual, ultimately, there's the one consciousness there. Through the sense of ego, through the sense of this is my life and this is what's the most important in the world, through that sense of ego, we're separated from that sense of oneness. But as a person grows and develops and eventually grows, not just being a good person or virtuous person, but actually becoming kind of spiritual, then that one consciousness begins to be his kind of base of operations. It's no longer me competing, struggling with the rest of the world. It's now me in harmony with all the rest of existence, and all my actions tend to be good, not only for me, but for everybody else. And Rama, he was the embodiment of that state of consciousness, of that nobility, and that kind of universal vision that indicates, this Purushottama, the Supreme Person, like I say, is not just an ordinary person being good, but it's actually a deeply spiritual kind of development. So thank you. Oops.
Swami Vivekananda, he has composed a wonderful stotra about Sri Rama. Rama, Krishna, then Rama, Krishna. It is a song. About the Rama, he said, Achandala pratihatarayo yashya prema pravaha whose love flows unhindered towards each and every one. Lokatito yapi pahanajaho loko kalyana margam. And though not belong to this mundane world, he never gives up the effort to make people blessed. Trilokepya pratima mahima Janaki prana bandho bhaktya jnanam vritavarabapuhu sitaya yohi Rama. He is the Rama, Rama of Sita. Rama and Sita, we cannot think of Sita without Rama. We cannot think of Rama without Sita. It is like the fire and the burning capacity of the fire. They are all together all the time. They both are together. So this it says about the Rama. Within a very 15-20 minutes, Swami Vivekananda, he said, this is the important aspect of Rama's life. Reaching out to each and every one without any boundary, without any discrimination. Why? Because, as he was mentioning, when I see the great people, they see each and every one is the manifestation of the same God. So that is which Sri Rama. So he has come to demonstrate over here. Now when we offer the pranam to Sri Ramachandra, there's all they know, the devotees they know, Sri Sri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Hanumat Samita Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Now this is very interesting. We all know the Brahma, and sometimes people they explain in this way, the four Veda, the four knowledge, that is coming as the four brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. And the Brahma is having the four heads, so like this, like the explanation. Sita is the power of Rama. We can understand this family. How come the Hanuman comes in this line? Because the devotee and the God, they are inseparable. That is the important thing. Sita, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, then Hanumat Sameta, Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane. We are offering pranam, all the devotees, millions, they are offering pranam every day along with the devotee. So the devotee and the God are inseparable. We will listen from Dr. Deepak Bakhane. He is a medical practitioner, but at the same time he is a great devotee. And he will explain about Mahavira, Hanumanji.
After listening the glories of Prabhu Ramchandra, I like to draw your attention to another giant great character in Ramayana, that is Mahavir Hanuman. By way of introduction, I like to say, God created this universe, having created, entered into it, saturated it by His presence. We all know we exist, we are, but do not know our true original nature. In this creation, only human being has that potential to know who he really is. We have forgotten our true original nature because our senses by default are outgoing and continuously engaged in Drashya Jagat, the visible gross world. Jivatman is the reflection of Paramatman in our Antakarana, which is filled with all kinds of vasanas, desires, forming as it were sheath of ignorance, avidya. This reflection is completely distorted making us believe this visible world, Prakriti or Samsara, to be true and invisible inner reality to be unreal. To make us understand, to remove this distorted illusory misunderstanding, many saints, sages and avatars are born in human society to guide those who are interested to realize their true original nature. Prabhu Ramachandra was one of such great avatars, incarnation of Vishnu, and Mahavir Hanuman has been the central character in his divine play. Elaborately described in great epic Ramayana by sage Valmiki and in Ramcharitmanas by great saint poet Tulsidas ji. For people who are in kindergarten or beginning stages of spiritual progress, Hanumanji is divine monkey, the monkey god with long tail jumping around. However, as devotees' understanding matures, he starts knowing the spiritual significance of symbolism of different events and characters. It is said that the story goes like this. Beautiful Apsara Anjana in the court of Brahma was cursed by Rishi that her face will transform like a monkey if she fell in love. Lord Brahma helped her to redeem from this curse. As a result, she was born on earth and married to monkey king Kesari. She was ardent devotee of Shiva, and by her tapasya penance, she wished that she were to be born as her son. In due course of time, later King Dashratha performed yajna. During the yajna ceremony, payas or kheer prasad was distributed to his wives, but portion of it was carried away by wind and fell in the hands of Anjana, who was meditating at that time. She gave birth to strong, beautiful child named Pavanaputra Hanuman, also known as Anjaneya. He was hungry and saw sun in the sky. He mistook it as a red fruit and took a long jump towards it to grab it. Indra did not like this action, and he threw his vajra at him, and it hit his jaw, Hanuman's jaw, and brought him down. Hanu means jaw, man is distorted, hence the name Hanuman. Hanuman's father Vayu got mad at Indra and stopped functioning, and there was a big chaos in the universe. Indra apologized and granted Hanuman Chiranjeeva status, that is eternally present. During childhood, Hanuman was very mischievous, causing trouble to rishis and not realizing his power of playful actions, whatever happened because of that. He did not realize how mischievous and troublesome he was to the rishis. They cursed him that he will cease to realize his power unless somebody reminds him about it. This calmed him down and he started lessons with rishis. He wanted to learn from Surya Bhagwan, who is eternally traveling. Hanuman traveled with same speed and mastered all the scriptures. As Guru Dakshina, Anjaneya agreed to serve Sugriva, the son of Surya. Hanuman met Sri Rama when he was on the way to find Sita, as we heard just now, and remained with him forever. Hanuman went to Sri Lanka after he was reminded by Jambuvant about his miraculous powers. On the way, he skillfully changed his huge form. When he was jumping and going from southern India to Sri Lanka, he had those miraculous powers, but he was so intelligent also that this demon Surna became bigger, then he became still bigger, etc. So suddenly he became so small and went through her, etc. He met Sita in Ashok Vatika and gave her ring given by Prabhu Ramchandra. Ravana, in an attempt to capture Hanuman in Sri Lanka, set his tail on fire. As a result, Hanuman tried to burn Sri Lanka and return back to give message to Sri Rama, and subsequently he helped him in the war to kill Ravana. He flew Sanjeevani mountain full of medicinal plants to revive Lakshmana to save his life. During the war, as you know the story, that that particular weapon from the Rakshasas hit Lakshmana and he was lying unconscious, and that particular medicine was necessary. So, Hanumanji did not know which one, so he just lifted the whole mountain and brought it there. Sita gave Hanuman a beautiful pearl necklace as a gift. He politely declined, saying he does not accept anything that does not have Lord Rama's name. To prove it, he ripped open his chest to reveal Prabhu Ramachandra within him. In one instance, Sita was putting sindoor on her forehead. Hanuman asked why. She explained that sindoor was the sign of unconditional love and respect to Sri Rama. Hanuman then covered his entire body with sindoor to prove his love for Sri Rama. Impressed by this, Lord Rama granted a boon that those who worship Hanuman in future with sindoor would see that all their difficulties go away. Hanuman featured in another epic. Hanuman featured in Mahabharata also. He stood by Pandavas in Kurukshetra war, stabilized Arjuna's chariot, and he was present in the flag, as you know. Hanuman lived very long time and was a great yogi himself. During his life, during that long life, Rama came again as Krishna. Hanuman came and serves Sri Krishna also and said, I want to see that Rama form of yours. Krishna said, all these forms are mine. Hanuman replied, I know that, but the Rama form is for me. Lotus-eyed Rama is the form that I love, and that's what he wanted to see. Even though Lord of Janaki and Lord of Lakshmi are the same, he would still prefer to dwell on Sri Rama's form. This is a good example of exemplary nishtha on the Ishta, on the chosen ideal of the devotee who always, even though he has reverence for other deities, other god, but on the Ishta, and this is a excellent example. When asked what day of the month it was, Hanuman said, Lord Rama is my eternal date, no other date I care for. Spiritual significance of this story in Ramayana has been nicely stated by Swami Vivekananda, who explained thus: Sri Rama was a Paramatman and Sita was Jivatman. Each man or woman's body was Lanka. Jivatman enclosed in the body or captured in Lanka always desired to be united with Paramatman or Sri Rama. But Rakshasas, the devil, would not allow it. These Rakshasas represent certain traits of human character, such as Vibhishana, that is Sattva Guna, goodness, Ravana, Rajas, lust and passion, and Kumbhakarna, tamas, darkness, stupor, and malice, all those bad qualities. Gunas keep back Sita, that is Jivatman, in the body or Sri Lanka. Thus imprisoned, trying to unite with her Lord, receives a visit by Hanuman, the Guru or the divine teacher. This is important. Who shows her Lord's ring, which is Brahmagyana, the supreme wisdom that destroys the illusion. Thus, Sita finds her way to be one with Sri Rama. Swamiji said, what ideals should we follow? You have now to make the character of Mahavira your ideal. At command of Ramachandra, he crossed the ocean, perfect master of his senses and wonderfully sagacious. On one hand, Hanuman represents the ideal of service. So, on other, he represents leonine courage, striking the whole world with awe. He has not the least hesitation in sacrificing his life for the good of Rama. Supreme indifference to everything except the service to Rama, that is his main character. Hanuman said, "When I identify myself with body, O Lord, I am thy creature eternally separate from thee. When I identify myself with soul, I am a spark of the divine fire which thou art. But when I identify with Atman, I and thou are one." Tulsidas ji, the great devotee, has expressed his profound love and devotion in Hanuman Chalisa and Sundarkand, the well-known poetic compositions. Tulsidas ji said, "Your glories are chanted by innumerable people. How can I express all the glories of Sri Hanuman, who is extolled by none other than great sages like Sanaka, Narada and Goddess Saraswati? Devotees feel fearless under your benign protection. Your valor sends tremors in all the three worlds. All the ghosts, the demons, the evil forces keep away with sheer mention of your name, O Mahavir. All desires, pain, suffering is alleviated in reciting Hanuman's holy name. Those who remember Sri Hanuman in thoughts, words, deeds with sincerity and faith are rescued from all crises of life. You are the ocean of wisdom, power and knowledge, which illumines all the three worlds with your glory. Hanuman is perfect example of one-pointed devotion to the chosen ideal. The great quality of bhakti is that it cleanses the mind. Firmly established in bhakti for Supreme Lord is alone sufficient to purify the mind. O God, thy names are innumerable, but in every name thy power is manifest. We should think of God always and not consider time and place for doing so. Chanting God's name is a simple and prescribed sadhana for this age, where people do not have time and interest to engage in ritualistic methods and worship. One needs to start saturating the mind with awareness of the presence of God. Activities done with egoistic attitude is work, and same activities done with divine centric attitude becomes worship. This is the secret of karma yoga. Working with attitude of service decreases the ego, emptying that place for the divine, thus purifying the mind. Thus purified, mind finds it easy to go back home, a real home, the self, that is with a S capital. Finally, I offer my reverential pranam to Mahavir Hanumanji by saying, "Ram Rasayan tumhare pasa sada raho Raghupati ke dasa. Tumhare bhajan Ram ko pavai janam janam ke dukh bisravai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai, kripa karo Gurudev ki nai."
Is a very, within a small hardly 20 minutes, he covered all the area of a great sage, Hanumanji, Mahavirji, quoting from Swami Vivekananda and also from the Tulsidas ji, and how he also explained the spiritual aspect of this, all the activities. This is very, very interesting. And all this began with a question. One rishi was there, Valmiki, and he was wondering, is there any person in this world who is perfect in every sense? And when he was thinking in this way, Narada came. You all know this Valmiki, the creator of the Ramayana, and the Narada is a great sage who tours all over. So he was asking, Ko osmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritajnascha satyavaka didhabhrataha atmoban ko jita krodha dutiman ko anasuyakaha kasya bibhyati devascha jato roshasya samayuge. So in the Adi Kand, in the beginning itself, Adi means beginning, this question was asked to the Narada. Narada told it is not possible to tell you all this. Sampratam loke, who is at present the most accomplished, learned, powerful, noble-minded, truthful, firm in vows, of excellent moral character, grateful, good administrator, well-mannered, fearless, clever, very good-looking, not subject to anger or malice, yet even gods fear to face him in the battle, whose powers can protect the world from evil, on whom future has emptied her blessings, who can justly be compared with Indra, the king of gods. So all these qualities, is it possible for anyone? Then Narada explained, yes, one person is there, he is the son of Dasaratha. This Dasaratha again, now when you find this Dasaratha, he is the son of Aja, King Aja. Now when we read all the time, there is two different things are there. One explaining the externally, the wonderful story, the history, these are all history. And at the same time mythology. The history, they are giving the example. Here we find the Dasaratha, he is having the, we will find over here, Dasa means 10 and Ratha means the container where all these 10s are there. This body is containing the 10. Pancha Jnanendriya and Pancha Karmendriya. So this body is considered as Ratha, is a chariot. So naturally, this is called Dasaratha, this body. Now in the body there are so many other things are also there. Is a Jnana also there and Ajnana also there. So this is Dasaratha. The characteristics of the Dasaratha is that. Again, we say the Koshala. This Koshala is the kingdom. The king was the Dasaratha. Ayodhya was the capital of the Koshala. And the Koshala was having 10 states under her control. Dravida, Sindhu, Sauvira, Saurashtra, Dakshinapatha, Banga, Anga, Magadha, Matsya, Kashi. All these 10 were there. So he was the king of the 10 country states. So he was Dasaratha, very powerful. But at the same time, he was having his weaknesses also like a human being. So this story goes in this way. Because of the weakness, he used to love his third wife very much and gave ask any boon, anything that you want, I will give it to you. That lady was very good. But what happened? She didn't ask that immediately. She told, afterwards I will ask. The first wife, the Kaushalya, she was the daughter of the Koshala. She was very religious-minded lady. Yam palayasi dharmam tvam pritva cha niyamena cha sabai raghava sardula dharmastamabi rakshatu. She was an excellent lady. And the Rama is leaving. She was telling, you are lion among the Raghu clan. All good deed you have done, religion you have practiced, will surely protect you. Then, as per the custom, she took the smell of the head of her son Rama and uttered. So these are the characteristics. In the Ramayana, we find the different characters. We find a character, the first one is the writer, the composer. He was a great sage. And previously, he was a dacoit. So from there, he has become a great sage. Anyone can become a holy person, a divine personality, if the moment he wants. So that's why Swami Vivekananda is telling, we are the maker of our own destiny. So we are making our destiny. Right this moment, I never knew, I made some mistakes. Okay, from this moment I am taking the vow, I will never do anything wrong. So that was his character. Then comes the Dasaratha. He was having so many good qualities, then a little bit of weaknesses. Then comes the Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, all these, his wife. And it says, Abadat putram ishtartho gaccha Rama yathasukam. My son, may your journey be safe and full of happiness. Finally, the mother Kaushalya prayed for her beloved son, Bhavatu Mangalam, and giving the blessings, wherever you go, may you always be happy. Then we find the Sumitra, the mother of the Lakshmana. The Sumitra also giving the advice to her son. She could say to Lakshmana, why you are leaving? It's not that the father has asked you to go. Only Rama is supposed to go. Why you are going? No. Rather he is telling, go and protect him. Not only that, the Lakshmana's wife, she is also telling and praying to the goddess Durga, at least for 14 years, please bless him, the Lakshmana, in such a way so that he will never sleep and feel tired. Constantly he can serve the Ramachandra. These are the great characters. All the time we think about ourselves. As Swami Varadanandaji was mentioning, the selfishness. But the moment you become unselfish, you become immortal. So here is a Sumitra, he is telling to the Lakshmana, Ramam Dasharatham Vitti. You are going along with the Rama, you must consider Rama as your father. As you respect your father, the Dasaratha, now, from now onwards, you should respect in that. And Mam Viddhi Janakatmajam. And you must see the Janaki as me, the mother. You must protect her, respect her in that way. Ayodham Atabim Viddhi Gaccha Tata Yatha Sukam. Tata means son. And wherever you go in the jungle, Atabi, that you should consider as your Ayodhya, your own home. Wherever you go, feel that this is my home. Don't ever say, oh, we were so good over there, these people, they complained, did like this. Be always happy. That is the secret of happiness in human life. So many things happen in the life. But if we know that every moment of our life we should be happy, we are not going to complain. We are not going to complain against anyone. But trying to live a very happy life, positive life. So these are the teachings. Kaikeyi was also very good. But you know, sometimes some people, they go under the influence of some bad people. Kaikeyi was very good. She was the third wife. But when she was so happy when it was declared that Rama is going to be the next king, But another, her maid servant came to her and said, "Why you are becoming so happy? Your son is not going to be the king again. Never be. Now the Rama's son will become the king. So what will your son will do? Now this is the time, go and ask your boon from your husband." He promised. And then coming under that bad influence, that's why one must be very, very careful choosing the company. Satsang, 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 all the time in all our scripture, they go on talking about satsang. You must be in a good company. The moment you are in the bad company, they will always inspire you and force you to become bad. And this Kubja, she was the bad company. So obviously, this Kaikeyi, she came under that influence. Then we can see that slowly all this Lakshmana, Shatrughna, and about the Hanumana, also beautifully it has already been explained. So in a very short period we see this character, this Lakshmana character, then Bharata, the great character, the sacrifice we cannot think of. His mother, she plotted in such a way, she was blamed by everyone, she was cursed by everyone, but she was very happy to do this for her own son. But the son told, "You have done a great mistake." He couldn't understand the Ramachandra. So that is the mistake that you have done. You came so close to the God, but you couldn't recognize God. You're thinking about all these worldly things, it is so temporary. Son could understand it, but not the mother. Why? Because the greed, the lova, moha, mada, all these things. Then another type of characteristics that we see in the Ramayana are these Rakshasas. So these Rakshasas are full of ahamkara, mada, garva, and all this. And that has been explained. The three brothers, that is Ravana, then Kumbhakarna, one is the tamasic, another rajasic, another swatik. These are all spiritual way we can understand these. So what is the teaching? The Lakshmana, when he is going over there, and the Shatrughna, they are twin brothers of the same mother. Shatrughna remained with Bharata, but Lakshmana followed the Ramachandra. The Shatrughna, he was looking after the Bharata and considering him as his ideal. Whatever he said, he followed. And Lakshmana, again, Rama. Bharata was very good, very pious, but not like Rama. And about the Ramachandra, they always said the rishis, they were meditating on the Rama. Ramante yogina ante satyanande chidatmani iti ramapade sano param brahma vidhiyate. The yogis enjoy the bliss of in their meditation, and they call Satyananda Chidananda Parama Brahma as the Rama. Ramante yogino yasmin sarama. Yogina, those who have controlled their senses, and in that controlled mind where they enjoy that particular object is Rama. Rama ramayate iti. Bharata is very good. And when we are serving a good person, that is also good. But when the avatar comes, when the God comes, the manifestation of God, those who can understand that and then go and serve Him, they are blessed. So that's why we find the Hanumana, this Lakshmana, they became so closely associated with the God Himself. Bharata was very good. He was also serving, but from a little distance. He could not come in so close. So these are the pictures in the Ramayana that you always find we must learn. See, this is Vedanta society, and we always try to give the essence of all this, the knowledge. Not much of food and other spiritual things. 3 days functions are going on just nearby in the Hindu temple. Hundreds of people will always be there, So all the functions are going external. But at the same time, if we know the teachings of Rama and actual meaning of the Ramachandra, and then implement those good ideas in our character, in our mind, that is the blessed state. And Dr. Bakhane mentioned about Ishta Bhakti, that is the great thing. There is nothing wrong. Sri Rame, Sri Janaki Nate Abheda Paramatmani. That both are same, the Krishna and the Sri Rama. Both are same. I know the Hanumana is telling. But my chosen ideal is Sri Ramachandra. So that is the main thing. This Janaki Natha, that is my. I am not hating others. I am not criticizing others. I am having a lot of respect for them. But my chosen ideal is this. Why this? This is a great idea the Hinduism has propagated. Chosen ideal, Ishta Devata, to concentrate on your mind. When your mind is becoming concentrated on one particular ideology and then imbibing those things, then you are blooming in those good qualities. Let us pray to this great character, the God who came in the form of a human being, Sri Ramachandra, to bless us so that we can also become like Hanumana, constantly thinking about Ram, and the name of the God is powerful than the God himself. Sri Ramakrishna said, the name of God is God himself. It is more powerful even. I told you that story that comes down as a tradition. Then when the Ramachandra was organizing a program, function, then all the rishis were there. Rishi Vishwamitra was also there. Then someone came and forgot to pay the respect to the Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra became very angry. And then he called Rama and told, I am your guest, you have invited me, but your people are not respecting me. I am going to curse you. Rama said, why? Who is the person that is not showing you respect? So and so. I will go and call him. It's over. I am not going to take his respect now. I want the punishment. Okay, what type of punishment? Go and cut his head and bring it to me. This much punishment? So it is impossible. Then all these things, then ultimately he said, okay, I will go, I will cut his head, I will bring it to you, please. So that is the story goes like this. And sometimes after reading this, some people say, oh nasty, what type of rishi is this? Why he is urging the Rama to go and cut? Hindu religion is full of all this type of hostilities. It's not like that. The last story turned in this way. When Rama goes, Narada always present everywhere. And he was the great reporter, we can say. So all the time reporting this thing and that. So he went and told to that king. And that king retired, he was very happy, he has visited. He told, you are now going to be killed. So why? The Rama is very angry. I just went to his home, I paid his respect, but you have not paid respect to the Vishwamitra and this thing. Rama is going to kill you. Then he said, I will go and beg, there is no chance now, you are going to die. But only opportunity is, go and take shelter in the Hanumana's house. Go and tell the Hanumana's mother, Anjali, that you go and tell, mother, please save me. And she is very kind-hearted lady. If she says, okay, then Hanumana will protect you. And he ran, he told the mother, Hanumana's mother was very proud that my son Hanuman is there. He said, no, don't worry, my son is there, he will protect you, be here. But anyway, who is going to kill you? The Ramachandra. Oh my God, you should have said it earlier. How can I protect you now? The Hanumana will never fight with the Ramachandra. Then he said, but you have given the word, please protect me. Then Hanumana came in the scene and said, since you have given the word, I will protect him. You need not to worry. How Hanumana protected him? He took him and made, you know that as Dr. Bakhane was mentioning, he was a yogi. He made his body huge. Then the long tail, with the tail he made just like a well, put the man inside. He was sitting on the tail. Each and every inch was covered, and he was meditating on Rama. Now this again, Narada, he went to Rama and told, why in this hot summer you are going out? You have a special type of arrow. You just tell the name and it will go and hit. So why? Rama told, yes, why should I unnecessarily go and search for him? So he shot that arrow came back. Then Rama told, what happened? Why it failed? Once again, and third time it came back, failed. Then Rama turned to the Narada and said, Rishi, can you please explain why my arrow is failing? Then Narada told Rama, can your arrow hit Rama? How come? I am here. Well, you are here. But the Hanuman is sitting over there protecting that man, and each and every inch of his body is now full of Ramachandra. So he is going on uttering Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama. So naturally your arrow going, but cannot enter into that, as because it will hit you there. You are present. Your name and you are inseparable. So let us take the name of Sri Ramachandra. Jai Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Raghupati Ramachandra ki Jai. Jai Pavan Putra Hanuman ki Jai. May the blessings of the Supreme God be always on us. Thank you for coming. And as I was telling, there is no prasad today.